My name is Jordan Broadhurst. I'm an exhibit specialist and I work for the Historic Preservation Training Center. Today we are working at the Virgin Islands National Park in St. John, specifically the Cinnamon Bay Danish Warehouse located at Cinnamon Bay Beach. The Danish Warehouse was one of the oldest still operating buildings on the island of St. John up until 2017 when Hurricane Irma actually destroyed the building, and now it's no longer in use due to the hurricane damages. So now what remains is a portion of the wall, of some of the walls that were there.
The Danish warehouse at Cinnamon Bay was used as a warehouse in the 1700s, but more recently it was also used as a museum space where the park showcased some of its archaeological collection, including some Taino artifacts, which is also relevant to that area because there are remnants of a Taino village all in that Cinnamon Bay beach area. So the museum actually is no longer in that space, and that's one of the reasons why HPTC is here, to help stabilize what's left of the structure. As part of our hurricane preparation, we remove artifacts and store them in other safe areas. So the artifacts we still have, but the structure was pretty much destroyed almost completely, and the remaining parts of it are being stabilized by the team from HPTC.
Some of the work on this project entails us correcting underpinning that was caused during the destruction of the structure. In addition to that, there was vegetation growing at the top of the walls and some cracking in other areas and lost stucco. So our team came in to correct some of those issues by rebuilding the foundation that was experiencing underpinning on the east wall and the sea buttress wall. We did that by using materials from the area that were from the destroyed remnants of the building. The cracking was remedied by repointing those areas using natural hydraulic lime and sand mixture. A mortar cap was also applied to the top of the walls after the vegetation and biological growth was removed. This helps to prevent any further vegetation and weather intrusion into the wall to cause further degradation. So I work in the Southeast region, Caribbean division for HPTC, and crew members from both St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands and San Juan, Puerto Rico have to come together to work on this project in St. John. So some of the challenges we face on this project, because we are on the island of St. John, there's limited items that we can find here or materials. So we have to source it either from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, or from the U.S. mainland using a via freight forwarder to get it here. In addition to that, we had inclement weather because of passing storms. So projects get rained out and there's tasks that we can't achieve for particular days. We have to push forward and make that work in a later part of the project. This project is special to me because one, it is in my home, the U.S. Virgin Islands, but also these structures are meaningful to me because to me they represent both my ancestors and the enslaved people that came to these islands. They're the ones that built these structures, and to me, by preserving these structures, it lets their legacy live on and allows others to see that their craftsmanship and what their hands were able to do.
It's really important to have a space and collaborators in the Park Service with the expertise of the folks at HPTC because we're responsible for caretaking of America's treasures, so the physical materials, artifacts, and buildings are part of that, those tangible objects that we can interpret. And if we don't keep them in good repair, then we'll lose that part of the physical history. And it's very hard for people to understand what things were like at a different time without having these physical things that they can see and experience in real time. So, the work of HPTC is to study how these structures were built and to keep them to those standards while repairing them and preserving them for future generations.